Good afternoon and welcome to the latest issue of Print21, the weekly video news bulletin for the Australia and New Zealand print industries. This issue is sponsored by Ball & Doggett, Australia's largest supplier of printable materials and of printer and consumables, and now supplying wide format equipment. PVCA is pausing the National Print Awards and the state-based Pikers for this year. They'll now be reviewed with a promise from PVCA that they'll be back in a new, improved format next year. This year's jobs actually are eligible or will be eligible for the 2024 awards. The association is going to instigate a review process for the awards and says it is committed to a new and improved programme in 2024. Kelly Northwood, CEO of PVCA, said there will be awards in the future. They will be better than they have ever been, and she says they will be reflective of our industry's excellence in a modern era. The Print Awards suffered during COVID, the pandemic of course, and its restrictions, forcing on-again, off-again events, hybrid events, joint events, and played havoc with the usual cycle, which sees the nation's print businesses enter their best jobs into the state-based Pikers, the Print Industry Craftsmanship Awards, and then the gold winners from the Pikers, all going forward to the National Print Awards, where they receive the ultimate accolade. We look forward, of course, to seeing the new version next year. In a major win, Paper Industry Association APIA, together with PVCA, have persuaded the government to lift the anti-dumping tariffs on imported A4 copier papers. The two associations partnered in an advocacy initiative into federal government and achieved success for industry, with the minister in question granting a stay on anti-dumping duty across A4 copy paper. The tariff was brought in 3 years ago and affected A4 papers primarily from Brazil, China, Thailand and most of Indonesia. It effectively handed the A4 copier market to Nippon Paper, as it became, and specifically its Maryvale mill, which saw its Reflex brand take 80% of the market, with its other brands making up most of the rest. However, the Supreme Court ruling against Maryvale's logging contractors in Victoria at the end of last year, that spelled the end of graphic paper manufacturing in Australia, sadly, meaning that 200,000 tonnes of white paper had to be imported, and half of that was copier paper. That copier paper was 50% more expensive than Reflex, another Australian manufactured brand, thanks to tariffs brought in because of dumping accusations. They've now been lifted. Still on media, Ball & Doggett has launched Ecoporium, its sustainable packaging platform. That was an in-person event at Melbourne Museum in front of printers and other industry professionals. Lindy Hewson, publisher of Print21, moderating there. Positioned as the destination for sustainable packaging, Ball & Doggett says Ecoporium creates a channel for all audiences to gain an insight into the world of packaging materials through the lens of the company's labels and packaging division. The Educational and Information Forum, Ecoporium, offers insights into the Australian packaging market, looking at how industry can drive commercial decisions that align with their sustainable outcomes. Ball & Doggett has also unveiled a new competition, with the company launching a UPO promotion, UPO synthetic papers, where customers have the chance to win a getaway to Japan, including a day at the F1 Grand Prix in Suzuka. Go to that story on the print21.com.au news website and follow the link to see how to enter. Global Wide Format Show FESPA just happened in Munich. I was there. It will be in Amsterdam next year. It will be just 2 months before the first Drupa for 8 years opens its doors. The major wide format exhibitors are likely to be at both, while smaller FESPA exhibitors, well, 80% of them, according to FESPA CEO Neil Felton, they only exhibit at FESPA and nowhere else. Aussie and Kiwi sign displaying promotional products and garment printers. They'll probably have to make a decision between going to FESPA, where they'll see the whole wide format world, or going to Drupa, where they'll see the whole print industry, including, of course, the major wide format technology developers. Few, if any, are likely to go to both. That's it for this week's issue of Print21. Go to print21.com.au for all these stories in depth and more, when you'll also be able to download the latest episode of the Print Industry Podcast. It's been a big month in print, where myself and Print21 publisher Lindy Hewson dissect the big stories, issues and trends emerging in ANZ print over the month of May. Thanks to our sponsor Ball & Doggett. For this video news bulletin, this is Wayne Robinson, editor of Print21 and Print21, signing off for another week.